Oh! 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 No! Oh, Kumas! No, no, no! Cliffhanger! I lost! Ah! Hey guys, how's it going? Too Lazy for Life here, back at you again with another episode of Unlimited Blade Works. I just got done with episode 10. I just got done vomiting, regurgitating, puking out all of my overflowing, just bucket of thoughts in my brain all over the damn keyboard, all over the damn screen, all over the floor, all over that recording as to what I thought about that previous episode. And holy damn, that episode was just mind-blowing. All right, it was a massive revelation moment for me in that episode. Whether I got anything right or wrong with my theory crafting, I don't know yet. So I'll check out the comments when the previous episode goes up on YouTube. But yeah, it was one heck of an episode. So Saber got manhandled by Kazuki Sensei, got absolutely tossed around like a rag doll and threw into the side of the petrol station. I don't know about that. And Rin had a dream about Archer at the beginning, his backstory, and then we got Shiro versus the sensei, and then Shiro just pulls out Archer's blades out of nowhere with projection magic, and then oh my god, I'm not going to go into detail about it, guys. I already spent like a good 30 minutes discussing about it in the previous episode. So if you want to check out my post-episode discussion, if you didn't bother to stick around for that long to hear my thoughts after the previous episode's reaction, then go check it out in the previous video. But yeah, basically that was all that happened last episode, and I connected all the dots and had a massive big brain revelation, just euphoria moment, eureka moment. And yeah, I maybe I was onto something there, all right, in terms of Shiro and Archer, and just I don't know what to call it, all right, without spoiling anything, if it's even spoilers. So yeah, those two, there's something up with those two. There seems to be a connection with those two, and I think last episode really tried to drive it home, hit the nail in the coffin for the viewer as to who Shiro really is. All right, let's leave it at that. So we're gonna move on now to episode 11, guys. All right, let's go. Oh, I'm still shaking from the previous episode. Damn, my mind is still going at like 100 miles an hour.
今日の鍛錬はなしにしよう。それよりシロ、あなたの方こそ大丈夫なのですか？いや、別に大丈夫だと。もし体が痛むようでしたら声をかけてください。
Ugh. What was that? Your arm's hurting after you did that magic the previous episode? A visitor approaches lightly. Ho ho! You approaching me, boy. The heck is that? What was that? What was that? What the fuck are those faces, man? How many faces has Rin made so far? She's made the one when Shiro came to school unexpectedly. She made the Minecraft sheep face when asking him to go to lunch.
結局、キャスターには正面からの実力行使しかないってわけね。そうですね。なんでそんなに離れたところにいるのよ。俺の定位置を遠坂が横取りするからこうなったんだろう。
Because you're a beta cuck. You got two beautiful ladies right there, wanting to suck your knob, and you're just gonna sit so far away, huh?
流動時ごと道連れにされかねない。確かに、キャスターならありえます。セイバ、しれっと怖いこと言うなよ。キャスターのやつ追い詰めたら自爆するっていうのか？するでしょう、そりゃ。しますね、おそらく。二人とも息バッチリだな。そろそろ夕飯の支度をしないと。
Now back at it again with the dinner, huh?
何よ、エミヤ君。人の顔をジロジロ見ちゃって。分かった。けど後で藤村先生も来るだろうから、その時はお前が時伏せてくれよ。分かってる分かってる。藤村先生のことも承知の上だから気にしないで。後悔しても知らないからな。ただいまー。おかえり。もう離れろって。お邪魔しています、藤村先生。ああ、遠坂さんだ。シロンチで会うなんて珍しいなーって。なんで遠坂さんがシロンところにいるのよ。ちょっと遠坂さん、こんな時間に何やってるの？あなた非常識でしょ？エミヤ君の家で夕飯をご馳走されているのですが、そういう藤村先生こそチャイムも押さずに上がり込んでくるなんて非常識ではないんですか？私はこの家の監督役なんです。エミヤ君のお父さんから任されているんですから、家族も同然なの。そうなんですか。夕食後もエミヤ君とは試験勉強しますけど、どうぞお構いなく。勝負あったな。ここにしますね。はい、サンキュー。洗い物なら私がやろっか。ごちそうされた。
Now there's 3 babes in his house. Oh, stop breaking everything! Stop breaking everything! Oh no! You broke 3 pieces of china in one day, in one night. Oh, that makes me cringe. Every time I what? The last time I broke something, broke a piece of cutlery, broke a dinner plate or something in the kitchen was like 2 years ago. I literally had to hold a funeral for that plate. There's a magic field in this house?
ちょっと付き合わない？なんだよ。ちょっとね。このうちって特殊だから、エミヤ君はそのままでもいいのかなってふと思った。
It's a nice house, alright? It's freaking huge. That house is huge. Like, bro, these kids, man, they just live with fucking mansions as if it's a normal thing. And then, then there's Ilio, right, with the whole damn castle. Totally normal in this series. Meanwhile, I'm living in a fucking cardboard box.
操作が楽しそうでよかった。ありがとう。で、もちろんエミヤ君も楽しかったんでしょ？いや。ちゃんと答えて、エミヤ君。私、とんでもない勘違いをしてたかもしれないから。けど、俺は周りが幸せ。
But if the people around me were happy, then I'm happy.
だから、魔術を習っておけば、いつか誰かのために。
So he's... Oh, that's like saying you did it for somebody else's sake. I want to be a champion of justice.
俺の理由なんてそんなもんだけど。それは嬉しいんであって楽しくはないの。いい？私が言ってるのは、エミヤ君自身が楽しめるかどうかよ。周りがどうこうじゃなくて、自分から楽しいって思えることはないのかって聞いてるの。
I mean, that's not exactly wrong, right? Oh my god, it's another ideological battle, isn't it?
要するにあんた、そのことばっかりで自分に焦点が合ってないのよ。うるさい、口答えするな。もう似てる似てるって。
I always thought you were similar, but I never imagined you were this alike! Oh my god! She's talking oh, she's self-projecting about you know who. 今夜も魔術の鍛錬ですか？ああ、欠かさずやれっていうのがキリツグの教えだったからな。では、魔術師としての知識のあり方も享受されてはいないのですか？ああ、そもそもさ、教えるべき本人が魔術師らしくなかったんだよ。困った大人だったな。なるほど。そういう死が好きだったのですね、シロは。ああ、憧れてた。自由で全然魔術師っぽくなくても、俺にとってはキリツグこそが本当の魔法使いだったんだ。Gonna talk to Saber about Kiritsugu again, huh? I don't know how Saber's taking all of this. 気づいてたのか。はい。昨夜の投影魔術による反動だと思う。体の大部分が麻痺したままか。Where did you come from? 何用だ、あーちゃん。我らは互いに不可侵の条約を結んでいるはず。止まれ。待つんだ、セイバー。あいつにその気はない。ですが。いいから。で、要件は何だよ、ハーチャー。お前のことだ。挨拶しに来たわけでもないんだろ。Rin told me you performed projection. You're that precise about the fucking effects? Well, yeah, because you probably experienced the same thing when you were younger, right? You'll find yourself a better mage than before. Certainly know a lot about this. I went through something similar. I went through something similar. Yeah, if you follow the path of Kiritsugu, you're gonna find nothing but despair at the end. I guess that's what he meant. If you fight of your own free will, accepting it as part of the ideal. But if you borrow someone else's ideal, I don't know about that. I think Iskandar and all the other king's followers would like to have a word with you, Archer. You have no desire to save yourself. clinging to your ideals until you die.
だから無意味なんだ。お前の理想は他人も自分も救えない偽りのような人生だ。
Oh. Oh my god, that speech! Oh. 逃げるんだよ! Oh my god. Oh, I've got so much to talk about. I need to get this out as fast as I can before I forget anything or before whatever. So, time to brain dump, guys. It's time for a good old 20 to 30 minute long brain dump. This episode was absolutely filled to the brim with more clash of ideologies, just like from like episode 11, I think it was, the Banquet of Kings from Fate Zero. This episode was, again, packed, jam-packed, stuffed full of ideologies. I mean, first of all, let's talk about the one with Shiro and Rin sitting out by the backyard. So it seems like when Rin asked Shiro, you know, do you enjoy studying magic? Do you enjoy being a mage and all that stuff? And then Shiro couldn't really answer that question, and that kind of ticked off Rin, because Shiro, after much thought, said, I don't know, I don't really feel one way or the other about it. I just want to do stuff that make other people happy. Okay, if other people are happy, then I'm happy. Alright, I do things for others, not for myself. Oh, and then Rin was just not having that. It's like, hey, if you're not doing something for yourself, if you're not doing it for your own sake, then what's the point? It basically, you had a clash of complete polar opposites, just like back in episode 11 of Fate Zero with the Banquet of Kings, when you talk about the selfish tyrant king and the selfless protector of the people king. In this case, you have the selfish, think for yourself Rin. No, I'm not saying Rin is, you know, always selfish. I'm just saying that she values herself first more than others, like many people have said before in the past, right? And have told me throughout my life, you should always put yourself first. You should always think about yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you then going to be able to take care of others? Because if you don't take care of yourself, you'll be the first thing to stop existing, and then when you stop existing, then you can't take care of others, right? It makes sense. It makes logical sense that you first need to take care of your one true being, okay, and then you can worry about other people. It's the same way as when they say in an airplane disaster, when the oxygen masks come down from the ceiling, you should put your own one on first, and then put on the one of the person next to you that you're helping, right? But Shiro, he's a different kind of boy. He's a special kind of boy. He rather focuses on everyone else first and then himself after. Because he's the definition of being a selfless, righteous, you know, protector of everybody. He doesn't want to see anybody get hurt. He wants to save everybody. He basically is Kid Kiritsugu. He wants to be like Kiritsugu back when he was still a naive, ignorant person, completely delusional in his own fantasies of wanting world peace without any bloodshed. He wants to be a champion of justice. And yeah, Shiro, he doesn't really care much for himself, as long as everybody else around him doesn't suffer and is having a good time. That's enough satisfaction for Shiro. Which, if I were to really think about it and delve into it, it's like, how are you able to go about helping other people, Shiro, in order to ensure that they remain safe and happy, if you don't end up taking care of yourself first, and then you won't be able to make everybody else safe and happy? So it kind of, I don't want to think about it too much. Just who do you put first, yourself or others? This particular ideology is an endless fucking spiral. Okay, I can't ever figure out which one's on top. This one is just a fucking butthurt headache to try and argue with. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. That was what I interpreted from that scene, the clash of ideologies between Rin and Shiro about, you know, just being selfish and selfless. So that's one ideology out of the way. Now the next one was the last one of the episode. That last talk between Archer and Shiro was just that hit me so deep. Archer's like, because as we probably now know, because now Archer's even dropping even more hints when he repaired and, you know, healed, I guess, Shiro's numb side of his body by essentially like unknotting, I guess, reactivating his closed up, sealed up, dormant magical circuits in his body that are now, you know, starting to flow, I guess, starting to operate after just his entire life of never using them, because I guess Shiro's just never used magic like that before, where he had to activate his magic circuits so intensively. And now that they've suddenly just been cranked up to 100 after being essentially offline for, I don't know, 1.5 decades, they're now extremely sore, and now they're just cramping up, and Archer had to fix that. And then after Shiro got remedied, and then Saber's like, oh, you sure know a lot about this. Yeah, you sure do. I mean, you even fucking said to Shiro, hey, your center of gravity is not just off, it's off by 7 centimeters. That level of precision. You're not just feeling a bit off. You're feeling a bit off by 7 whole centimeters, huh? I'm sure you would know something about that, Archer, because you probably experienced something like this before, didn't you? That's what Saber asked Archer, and Archer's like, yeah, I kind of had this similar experience back in my childhood, right? So Archer's like, after he healed Shiro, Archer's like, so, Shiro, what I meant by dragging yourself to your death with your ideals is basically, since I am you from the future and I've basically gone to the end of the line following this damn dream of yours that you're now only starting to realize at your early tender age, following Kiritsugu's dream of being a champion of justice and wanting to save everybody and just wanting to keep on trying to fight for world peace, you're going to find nothing but a mountain of corpses at the end of the road, nothing but a bloody battlefield. Your hands are going to be caked in blood, and you're going to find nothing but a massive racked up body count, okay, of deaths. And this whole idea of wanting to save everybody and everybody doesn't have to suffer, you're just gonna see nothing but suffering in your pursuit to see nobody suffering. Everybody's gonna get hurt at this rate. And since I've seen it, I'm basically telling you, your past self, okay, that if you're gonna keep following this ideal, it's gonna drag you down to your death, because I'm guessing that's basically how it ended up with Archer, right? That was the end of his long life of wanting to be a champion of justice, following Kiritsugu. And yeah, again, this ideology that Archer threw up at the very end, which I didn't really agree on. Archer's like, if you're fighting for your own ideals, if that ideal was something that you came up with yourself, you decided you want to be a champion of justice by yourself, fine, go ahead, go be a champion of justice. Whatever waits for you at the end, whatever waits for you at the finish line, whether it's a happy ending or a sad ending, who the fuck cares? It's your own decision. You bear the consequences of your own actions, all right? But if you're going to take on somebody else's wish and your life is basically living for this, actually, yeah, Archer's basically being like Rin. All right, Archer's basically saying the same thing as what Rin said. You're not thinking about yourself in this sense with ideals. You're not thinking about your own, your own gains, your own, well, ideals. I don't know any other word to say it. You're thinking about somebody else's ideals. You're not living for yourself. Okay, you're not trying to follow your own thoughts, your own beliefs. Actually, that's the word I was looking for, beliefs. You're not following through with your own beliefs. You're following somebody else's beliefs. You're living with somebody else's ideals, okay, burdening your shoulders. You're bearing somebody else's ideals upon your shoulders and living essentially their life out for them, which, if that's the case, then your life is fucked up and you need to stop doing that, which I don't really agree on, because he's saying if you're living for somebody else's sake, aka being selfless, which is what Rin also said to Shiro, you're an idiot. And I don't really think of that. Like I said, again, it's ideologies. Everyone has a different ideology, and sometimes your ideologies may be completely polar opposites to one another, and therefore you're going to end up having a falling out with somebody. You're going to end up starting to bicker when the North Pole meets the South Pole, when hot meets cold. So I don't agree with that. I think everybody should live the way they want to. Okay, if you want to live being selfless, if you want to live being selfish, go ahead. All right, do whatever's best for you. As long as that's what you want to do and you're dead set on doing it, okay, then just go at it. Okay, like knock yourself out. And yeah, like I said at the end there, commenting on what Archer said about those ideals. If you're living for somebody else, that's wrong. Well, that's not technically true, because like what Iskandar said, if you're a king, right, the people and the king are one. The people are essentially an embodiment of the king's ideals. So doesn't technically that mean the people are living for the king's sake? The people are basically trying to uphold the king's ideals, right? They're trying to spread the good name and the life and the lifestyle and everything the king stands for out to a wider audience. So what? All of a king's supporters, and the same with Saber, right? I don't know about Saber. I don't know whether. Well, I guess Lancelot did say at the end of Fate Zero that that all of her subjects did respect her and follow her and whatever. So basically, all of a king, a ruler's followers are essentially, you know, going and representing the king, and therefore they're following the king's ideals. So what, you're telling me that everybody of that kind, they're all living essentially stupid lives, Archer? I can't really, that's not, Iskandar would like a word with you. All of Ryder's followers in his Ionian Hitari would like a word with you. All right, because yeah, that's a pretty biased take upon ideals, if you ask me. And yeah, man, at the very end, when Archer was just staring up into the moonlight and saying like, there's nothing to be gained from helping others. Your ideals are simply gonna drag you down into a cycle of just death and despair, and you're gonna lose everything. Basically, he's talking like Kiritsugu at the final moments of Fate Zero, when the whole city was on fire, or at least, you know, that section of that city was on fire, and he realized that his whole life, his whole dream that he was chasing of world peace was nothing more than a fantasy. So I'm guessing Archer right now, if he really is future Shiro, he's basically reached that end point in life where he's just absolutely sick of everything, and he regrets the end result of this long, perilous struggle, agonizing, painful journey that he's been on to try and be like Kiritsugu, and realized in the same way that Kiritsugu did a little bit too late that it was a fool's gold. It was a futile journey. And yeah, he's really fucking bitter about it right now. He's a pretty salty old man, Archer. I think that's about it. I think that's all of the thoughts I wanted to get out from this episode. Really, it's just a whole bunch of clash of ideology talks I wanted to just brain dump for you guys in this post-reaction discussion and review. The first half of the episode, there wasn't really a whole lot of interesting stuff worth mentioning. I mean, Rin just came over to visit Jiro and Saber, and then Tiger came in and they all had dinner again. Again, it's just the whole off time when they're not fighting, they're just back at Emiya's place eating food. I feel like that's a very common trend so far with this series. It's just not, if it's not nighttime and you're not battling it out with the Holy Grail War, you're back at Emiya's place stuffing yourself full of Emiya's food and cooking. So yeah, so the second half of the episode was where all the interesting stuff was where all of the gears in your mind, the cogs in your mind needed to start churning real hard and think real deep in order to, you know, be really immersed and in tune, actively, consciously thinking with the episode that was being displayed to you on screen right in front of your eyes. A whole lot of dialogue to soak in and think about. Alright, but I'm pretty damn well sure now, with all of the hints being dropped in this episode and from the previous episode especially, that Shiro and Archer, yeah, I think pretty much Archer is indeed future Shiro. So we'll have to wait until Shiro now figures this out, and then it finally is confirmed. Okay, but I'm willing to bet money on it that that's the big reveal. All right, hopefully I figured it out early enough. Right, hopefully this for a brand new viewer, guys, leave it in the comments below. Let me know from you, all you experts, how out there, how well did I do? How early on in the series did I manage to piece together the puzzles compared to other people that you've seen that have seen this show? Did I do a good job? Did I 200, 500 IQ big brain it quickly enough before the show ends up just, you know, spilling the beans and telling it to me straight up front, right up in my face? All right. So yeah, that's all of my thoughts, guys, for episode 11 of Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my reaction. And if you've liked it, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. I've said it a million times, guys. Join the Discord server. Again, very much appreciate it if you guys join the family and just hang out with me and all of the other guys in there and just have a good old chat about, you know, anything you like, especially animes and video games. All right. So yeah. And a big shout out to all of my patrons out there. Again, thank you all so much for your support. Continue being awesome, helping me pursue my dream of becoming a full-time content creator, guys, all right? And everybody else that wants to sign up, the link is right down there, guys. Check it out. Check out my Patreon page. Have a browse and consider signing up and joining the other patrons there right now and become a fully verified, certified sloth of my Too Lazy for Life sloth army. And of course, unlock all of my full, uncut, unedited reactions that you will not find anywhere else. All right, for as little as $1.99, it's a bargain. All right, it's not expensive. Definitely isn't. It definitely is pretty damn affordable and cheap. All right. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time for episode 12 of Unlimited Blade Works. All right. But until then, that's it from me. Bye for now.